here.
All
You
right.
don't want to be that close.
Gotta deal with you again.
No,
So
leave your name tag on.
this ain't good. So another episode. We're gonna start with. Well, not start with this one's gonna try to focus on mainly because we get the riffing. Mainly, it's gonna try to focus on health and wellness. Once you in the once you're in the wheelchair. So anybody that haven't tuned in before, I'm Michael Wolf. I got a T6, so right here, spinal cord injury, ended for 12 years or 11 years. I just dated myself. And this guy back here, Harvey Ross.
I'm a C6, C7, and complete quad.
Yeah.
Due to a gunshot.
Yeah, both of us gunshots.
The bullet was lodged at the C2 level.
Where is that?
C2 level of the vertebrae, so the cervic area, which is pretty high. In all intents and purposes, I should be dead, but the bullet didn't sever my spinal cord. So
it should be.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way.
So, in any case, one of the main things that you're going to encounter besides the actual initial trauma from being in a wheelchair and the emotional toll is the secondary problem that you'll have from being in a wheelchair, which comes shortly after if you are inactive or have any other secondary injuries along with the spinal cord injury. So if you got shot multiple times or if you broke bones or had nerve damage, those are like secondary or injuries that basically compound or make the spinal cord injury worse. So as far as the healthy lifestyle goes, it's multiple ways to try to stay healthy. We're going to try to touch on just some because so much stuff you got to do to keep yourself from digressing. Because just because you got a spinal cord injury don't mean it can't get worse. So one of the secondary injuries that often happen a lot of times after you get paralyzed, it actually starts in the hospital, and there are called bed sores, or that you may hear them called pressure ulcers. And that happens when you lay in one spot or sit in one spot. And overall, the best way to say it, if you leave too much pressure on one spot of your body, and then too much pressure from the bone will come through the skin. It sounds horrible, and it's just as bad as it sounds. But if anybody out there that's paralyzed knows that you go numb from the having a spinal cord injury, but if you think about it, when you were able-bodied or people that are able-bodied, you can think about how if you sit in one spot too long, how a limb or something will fall asleep. Those with paralysis, they can't sense the numbness and tingling that you get when you experience your foot or your arm or your butt even falling asleep. The people that's paralyzed don't sense that. So basically, what's happening in your body is the bone is starting to push through the skin, the different layers of skin. So because you're not paralyzed, you can't feel it. You'll sit in that same spot. Somebody that's paralyzed, they won't move, so the bone will constantly come through, which can cause a really bad smell. You can actually die from these things too, but you'll notice that it's a red spot there first, and then it'll open up, and there are different stages of it. Stage 1 is mostly you'll see it on the outside, like a redness or maybe some skin peeling. 2, you'll be able to see the second layer of skin. 3, the next layer of skin, and 4, you can actually see the bone. And some people have had stage 4 bed sores that I've seen. You can actually put your fist in it, and it has to be packed and do a skin flap. It just be real nasty. But that's just one of the secondary things that can happen. You can also end up with bad blood pressure. That can already initially happen, but it can get worse as well. Some people get medication, but one of the ways you can help out with the blood pressure is with proper food, eating right food, drinking a lot of water, and exercising and constantly changing your levels, which basically is like just not always laying down, because your blood pressure can get worse from just laying in one position. So anybody else that's not paralyzed, that have experienced it before, an able-bodied person, it's like if you sit up too fast, your blood don't have time to regulate, and then you'll get lightheaded. That happens with people that's paralyzed because the legs aren't pumping the blood back up to the heart. So your normal elevation becomes what you mostly are doing. So if you paralyze, you laying down. That's how your blood is regulating on that one flat plane. So when you sit up, your blood can't regulate, and you can get lightheaded and pass out. So that's another one of the things too. Now there's a lot of different complications, but we're gonna just try to stick on a couple of topics so we can try to go in depth in it. Harvey probably is better off in speaking about maintaining a healthy lifestyle because of the simple fact that he works out a lot. So you can touch on, some different techniques and things that you can do as far as working out to prevent secondary injuries or just a loss of muscle.
So I mean, when it comes to,
hold on, you go ahead.
When it comes to like working out, I mean, before I got injured, I was a three-sport athlete, and I would lift weights or whatever. So that was something I was doing all the time. After I got injured, of course, you have that life-changing moment where you don't think anything is possible. So working out and that stuff, I couldn't walk, or I'm almost died twice and all this other stuff. But, once I was able to come out of my depression or whatever, a lot of the rehabilitation that they were trying to give me before then, it pertained to me being able to shift and move my body weight around, me being able to do things on my own. And for that to happen, of course, I mean, you have to get stronger if you can. So yeah, you can do all the transfers and all the resistance bands work and all that stuff to help promote strength, but it ain't nothing like getting like some weight and moving it around and doing it. So then I end up finding a gym. I actually been going to this gym now. Me and a friend of mine that works there, he started working there at the same time I came. It's like going on 19 years. And when I got to the gym, I looked into the why, one of the whys or whatever. And I mean, it was a little more pricey than this gym, I think. But this gym, it's not a franchise gym. It's a franchise gym here in Wisconsin, parts of Wisconsin. So it's a private gym. Anybody, so you're paying for the cleanliness and the support you can get. But anyways, when I started working out there, they had these machines where you could pull the seat out and I could back my chair into the machines and use them. But then when they renovated and brought in new equipment, the equipment didn't have the option to pull the seat out. So I had to figure out a way. So I use cable machines. I get on the mat at the gym. I use free weights, and because I've been going there so long, I know everybody, whether they leave and new people come in or whatever. So if I ever need like help, I always, I can get it. And I like going there. I mean, they got like 5 or 6 other locations, and where I go, it's not nowhere. It's not even close to where I live, but it's just because this part of the gym, it gives. I'm just used to it, and I like the energy there. So I go to the gym. I work out probably 6, maybe 7 times a week, and then there are times when I'm tired because as I leave work, I go to the gym. I might not get home until like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Then by the time I get into bed and wake up, I got to get up at 5:30 in the morning. So I'm tired. And rest is also, a part of maintaining a healthy lifestyle, especially if you're working out all the time. You got to give yourself a chance to recover. And a lot of times that could be detrimental. So even when I'm working out all the time, I do have to take days off to rest, whatever, regain my strength or whatever. So a body in motion stays in motion. I heard that a long, long time ago. And it's the truth. I mean, it doesn't make any, even if I was walking around, the older you get, you do start to lose things or whatever. So with that being said, like the older I get that I'm in this chair, yeah, I'm gonna start losing things that I would normally lose or whatever. And then with not all of my muscles and my motor skills working like a normal person, I'm doing my best to try to offset that to prolong my independence as long as I possibly can.
Yeah. So one of the things that people that are recently been paralyzed, if you've seen me in person, I always stress, working out is going to be your best path forward, because I was also told, and I'm a firm believer of it, because it happened to me. Whatever you do in your first 6 months of being injured, that's probably what you're going to continuously do. So it's a good thing to start a healthy routine instead of getting used to sitting around or having everybody do something for you. Try to be as independent as possible. And it may seem hard at first, of course, but everything's get better in time. So I'm a firm believer too, a practice make perfect. So you can either get tips from us anywhere else on the internet, prefer you go here, but we always respond to any comments or questions. So one of the things I stress out too is if you do have any movement, because I know some people may not be able to move their limbs just yet, but if you do have any movement, TheraBands is a good place to start. It's a low impact workout, but the more you do it, it builds up endurance and it catches the small muscles that you need that you don't think about on a day-to-day basis. So everybody thinks about biceps, triceps, the pecs, but there's smaller muscles that actually connect those, which if you have experienced a spinal cord injury, you know how important they become, because when you try to move dead weight, is what it's called, the muscle that you can't use, it becomes way heavier. So I'm pretty sure if you went from walking one day to being in the wheelchair the next day, when you first try to pick your legs up to transfer, they seem heavy, but that's just because you don't have the balance in the help from your lower body to actually move your leg. It's not often that you just decide to not try to move your leg at all and pick it up with your hands. And on top of that, the balance is one of the biggest things too. So you may have a strong upper body, but if you don't have any balance, it's going to be hard to, pick something up. So just imagine you trying to bend over and grab something, but you can't hold your upper body up. So that's one of the things too that'll affect your strength. Balance is a big one. So, like I said, back to the TheraBand, you can use TheraBands by doing different motions as far as for your biceps, your triceps. You can go up and down for your deltoid. You can tie these things underneath your wheelchair. You can tie it on your wheelchair. You can tie it on the bed. If you have help, you can have somebody hold it. You can put them even under your legs, because your legs, if they're not moving, or you put them in a certain position like underneath your knees, you can use those as well to get some type of workout in. Just because it's born doesn't mean it's working. If you feel any type of tension, that's a workout. So you can go from TheraBands. If you have the money to, you can buy like the leg weights or the body weights. So just simple movements every day with more weight on you will cause you to, build up some muscle that you need. Even if you in general just stay active, you having to move around with less muscle control is going to be stress on the muscle that you can use, which of course again is another workout. I tell people all the time that want to buy weights, you can pick up cans inside of a bag, and that can be a way you can use some weights you can use to work out. If you got if you got books to be in a book room, books on the bookshelf, you stack those up. That's weight. What he just did, a pressure relief, that's weight. You can do that multiple times. Even when I know some people too, like I don't like my stomach either, but that's because it's a thing called quad belly. When you lose the muscle tone of your stomach, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's like you're pregnant. So I used to have, I used to have a 6-pack, and then when I got injured, it turned to just a 1-pack. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that, but some people want to try to get some muscles in their stomach. You can go from, depending on your level of injury, there's always some way you can try to work the lower muscles. It may not seem effective at first, but you do it enough, you'll get tired. But if you can do a whole sit-up, then that's perfectly fine. If you can do a crunch, that's fine as well. If the only thing you can do is get your shoulders off of the bed, that's fine. It's all about working what you do have and creating some tension in the muscles that you may not be able to feel as moving, but they are moving. But the only way you'll be able to tell is if you go and get a test where they find what is called trace movement. That's movement that you can't actually see, but they can sense it with either machines, or somebody that's a qualified therapist can put their hand in the spot and feel like muscle twitches. which is basically just your muscles engaging, but not enough to be actually what they call functional. So if you can move a toe, you can't walk. That's not functional movement. But if you're able to type with that toe, that's functional. So that's the difference between functional movement. What other things? Push-ups is always good. I tell people all the time, if you can get on your stomach, do that. Even if you can't do a push-up, it counteracts the sitting position that we in wheelchair all the time. So whatever you don't use as far as muscles go, you'll lose it. So if you constantly in a seated position, you can imagine that your body is sitting like this in a wheelchair. So when you go to lay down, if you never lay on your stomach, when you try to lay on your stomach, finally after a while, your butt will stick up because you can't flatten your body out because that muscle in between the stomach and the thighs has gotten too short for you to actually stretch out. And that's bad to not be able to stretch out because you won't be engaged in certain activities that guys are fond of and make it much harder. Even when it comes down to the lower body, I know some people are worried about not being able to gain muscles or get weight on their legs. I have not come up with a way to gain muscles or get weight on my legs. Some people may just have genetics where they do gain weight on their legs, but I don't have that. But I do know that if you can get it's like a FES system called functional electrical stimulation. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is FES system. Those are like electrical impulses that attach to your leg. You have to buy it. It's pretty expensive, but if you in a wheelchair or not in a wheelchair, if you go look up some of these medical devices, they are extremely expensive, and I think it's made that way, of course, but we can go down that another route another time. But some of those type of equipment can enhance the muscles because it's actually firing the nerve to move the muscle. So that's like my only option, or that's the only advice I have as far as trying to get muscles and weight where you can't use. But yeah, so as far as what you do have, use that and maybe some levels lower, a little bit lower, and that's gonna be your starting point. And then from there, anything is possible. I feel like as long as you're working at it and don't stop, you can't lose. You go to do you ever work out at home?
Yeah.
What workout do you do at home?
Well, at home, I have the color coded the color coded TheraBands, and I have them stuck in my door and stuff. And I have kettlebell. I have some plastic kettlebells where one is 10, the other one 15. Then I have a dumbbell, but I also have these cuffs that I put around my wrist, and they have like steel hooks that's on them, so I can pick up a dumbbell into the hook and it stays there, and I can do shoulder shrugs and stuff like that. But also when I go to bed at night, I can turn on my stomach. And even though the mattress is soft or whatever, I can still do like push-ups or whatever. Now, of course, I'm not getting my full pelvis off the ground because like my legs, I can't extend them that way. But it's a lot more resistance to put up. But then also that's when I get a chance to like stretch my back out. I forgot what that pose is called in yoga, where you put your hands in.
Downward dog or something like that.
Downward dog, yeah. That's crazy.
That's the most popular one, I feel like. It might not even be it. That might be the one with a butt in there, right? Is it downward dog? I don't know. Hey, some. I listen. I just found out. No. Because I really just figured out that dudes do yoga. I didn't know they did that. When I found out, I was like, really? Guys do yoga? For what? What you doing? But some people swear by it. They say it make you more limber, more flexible.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I don't want it, but I'm saying I ain't gonna knock nobody to do it.
I can't walk no more, so
Yo, you want to go to yoga class today with me?
Excuse me, sir.
What do you wear there? Oh, we ragging on people that do yoga. If you do yoga, that's perfectly fine. I just find humor in everything, so that's good for me. I see you. Where you going, man? You think they're going to play basketball? They're going to do yoga? It's fine. If you do yoga, it's fine.
No, it's just bad. And then, even if like pressure release, if you get those pressure reliefs turn into, if you do enough of them, it's like what do you call it? Not a shoulder press, but you see people in the gym like some people in the gym do. You put your legs up on a box or whatever, and then you do. It's a tricep movement also for your shoulders where you got your hands behind you and you dips or whatever. So you can
dips. Yeah.
yeah, you can use it at that. And yeah, I mean a lot of stuff. But even if you got a manual chair, going outside if you in a part of the world where it's nice, pretty much going outside pushing your chair.
Or you can go in the hood and run away from people.
Yeah, that you want to play Frogger, and if
dodge some more bullets.
Yeah, right. So no, this is exercising. I mean, it's all a mindset. Everybody don't want to exercise. Even people that are walking around, but the way I look at it, I know people who have never exercised a day in their life, but then once they start going to the gym or working out at home and doing it consistently, turns into a lifestyle. And it's not for everybody. I'm just saying, but especially for people who have spinal cord injuries and mobile situations, exercising does prolong your life, especially when you're in a wheelchair and you're only using so much of your body, your upper half of your body. So no, it does that does make a difference.
It's like a Nike commercial.
I thought about that too. Yeah, sponsors.
Like a Nike commercial.
Yeah, you see her.
So we don't have much time. I got it.
Okay.
But in any case, one of the things I'm not like the best at, but I know that it's a key, or a gem rather, that I like to pass on. Eating is going to be a big thing. Like, I don't know if all the stuff that you like a diet regimen to give you, I'm not even going to try to. I'm not even going to attempt to give you that. But I do know that there are foods that are unhealthy for you when you're walking around. Those same foods can be detrimental to your health, especially if you have incontinence and you have bowel issues, whether you got loose stool or you backed up, because I mean, if you got a hard time pooping, you probably don't want to be eating stuff like red meat, a bunch of uncooked vegetables, stuff like seeds, even corn. I mean, corn is
you don't digest that at all.
Yeah, we don't digest it anyway. Actually, in side note, if you want to find out how fast your colon is, then you can always eat corn, and then you'll be able to tell how fast how fast the food goes from your mouth to the other end by eating corn, and then you'll be able to see it in your stool. That's how you know how fast the transition of food from your mouth to your butt is. That'll help you out with trying to figure out a bowel program too. People that's in wheelchairs, I'm pretty sure if you haven't heard about a bowel program, you've been meeting the wrong people, especially in the hospital. They're supposed to actually set you up with a bowel program. But if you don't know about it, the bowel program is basically training your body to poop at the same time so you don't have accidents or poop when you don't want to. So that happens by using the bathroom or going to the bathroom setting or going to the bathroom position at the same time every day. So if you do a bowel program in the bed, if you poop in the bed, then make sure you're in that position at the same time all the time. If you got to use suppository, do it at the same time all the time. And at that point, your body will know that's the time to evacuate, because you can't control that sphincter muscle in your butt with your brain anymore. So you have to basically set your body up on an alarm system. It may take a while and it may not take a while, or you may need some incontinent care stuff like suppositories, enemas. You might need to take Miralax. The more aggressive stuff is Senokot, I just heard, which you can get addicted to it, but it works. But you want to try the smaller stuff first, like eating better. A lot of water intake is good. Fruits is definitely good. I'm not sure what fruit is bad. I haven't tried a fruit that was bad for me. As far as vegetables go, raw vegetables are really hard to digest for everybody. So it's even worse if you have a spinal cord injury. And one of the things too about vegetables is definitely broccoli can cause gas. And because you don't have the motility in your stomach, motility is basically the movement of your colon. So your colon does this in the inside to basically push the food along. If you don't have that peristalsis, which is the motility, the movement of the colon, then gas will create, or the gas will build up because you can't push the gas through. So you'll feel even more bloated eating gassy foods. One of them is definitely broccoli. I want to say it's beans too, but I don't know for sure. Broccoli. You can look this stuff up. I'm just giving you, pointers on stuff. It's like you can either look up more on your own, or just be wary of from my standpoint? I've dealt with gas a lot, and it's painful. Like I thought I was having a heart attack one day because the gas was up so high.
Yeah.
But again, because you can't control your bowels, gas will build up, and on top of that, we're not moving around if you're not walking so much. So that's another thing that pushes along gas actually moving. And I'm pretty sure if you ever go to the doctor and you tell them you got gas, they're gonna tell you to be more active, which is kind of like a slap in the face telling somebody that's in a wheelchair to be more active, because you can do all of this all you want. It's not moving the core and the hip flexors in the butt where all of that, poop is. I tried laying on my stomach as well, doing some more stomach exercises. Like I think one of the best exercises that I've done besides actually putting braces on and walking in a walker is actually crawling. Like I said, I'm injured from, the T6 area. That's like I got 2 abs. So for me to be able to get on my hands and knees and crawl, you basically got to, balance yourself. You got to pull your legs the way that you don't have, and then maintain and stabilize your body with just your arms and the upper body that you have. I've seen people that's all the way up to T1 be able to crawl. It's hard, but if you get the hang of it, then it's definitely a great body workout. Even if you decide you want to slide, or if you get in that position, you can do like women push-ups, not the one where you have to, get your butt in the air, but where you literally go from laying flat to in the doggy position, then flat in the doggy position. That's a good workout as well. But back to the eating, I say again, fruits, vegetables, I would try to stay away from meat. But if you do want to eat meat, of course, the best meat to eat, I'm pretty sure you probably have heard of it, is chicken because it's more lean. Turkey as well. Any processed food, stuff like bologna and those like ham sandwiches, any of that bologna stuff and turkey, ham, anything that's sliced up in the packages, that's going to be bad for you, especially if you want to Aldi's and getting that old, that paper cut meat. We used to eat that shit back in the day, when I was a kid. We used to we used to take the meat out the pack and bite that shit, saying no bread or nothing to be gone because we're too busy trying to play. But now that shit, that is bad for you to eat that type of stuff. I think even too much bread might be bad, but I eat bread, I got stomach issues too, but still at the same time, you can't, it's like, it's real hard trying to stay away from the food that you used to eating or the food that literally is affordable, because food is expensive for one. 2, being having a disability or having barriers to cooking and make it harder for you to make the healthier foods. I mean, it's good to be able to, make smoothies or be able to have fruit. But if you don't have the dexterity to cut the fruit yourself, you waiting on somebody else to make it. You got to do meal prep. If you can't cook the vegetables, you like either I'm not gonna have them or I got to go get takeout, which could be more expensive. So if you have somebody helping you out and they can do food prep for you or meal prep for you, that's great. Keep that up. But if you by yourself, you got to basically do what you can do. So it's not like you want to use that as an excuse. You can always try to find a way, to do it or find somebody that can help you. But if you can or have the ability to, I suggest that you go that route, the more healthier route when it comes down to just eating the fruits and vegetables, because, I mean, that's what our body is made to eat, And that's just, again, from doing research. We got too much colon to be processing meat. Even though I eat meat, I just know that it's better for us to eat fruits and vegetables, be way more healthier that way. I still eat candy too. Like, I'm not perfect. Nobody is, but I still eat candy, but that shit is bad for you too. That actually slows down the digestive system as well. What is it? What's them things called? I mean, not them things called, like soda and all that stuff. Like, this guy drinks Coca-Cola.
Shut up, man. No, I don't.
You just drank it.
I drank a Coca-Cola because I took some of my spasm medication, which are muscle relaxers, which tends to make me sleepy. So I drank a Coca-Cola instead of taking some pre-workout.
It didn't work.
It did work. I'm talking. I drank.
It did not work
to keep me awake doing this podcast, because it's like we like midday or whatever. So I mean, and that's another thing when it comes to like health, to touch on, like, we take these medications, and a lot of these medications, have side effects. That's why I stay away from them. I take what I think I need, and that's for my bladder spasm, my muscle spasm. But they have side effects, and one of the side effects is you get sleepy. And there's been times that I've taken my medication, got in my car, and started driving, and Bobby Brown time. I should have said that. That was wrong. It ain't no Bobby Brown time. And, you start to drift sometimes, and so you try to balance all that stuff or whatever with hand to hand with having a disability, like what Mike was talking about, eating healthy. I work out and I try to eat as healthy as I possibly can. I don't eat out a lot, and I'm not talking about the other eating out. That was crazy. That was wild. I shouldn't even say it. Anyways, but
probably not. It's a health and wellness. I guess that's a part of health and wellness.
That's a part of being healthy. Well, anyways, I stop every now and then and maybe get a burger or something from Wendy's or whatever. But most of the times when I'm cooking food at home, even if you like fried chicken at home, it's better than the fried chicken you'll get from these like Kentucky Fried Chickens and Popeyes and stuff like that. And a lot of people eat 3 times a day. I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
I usually skip breakfast almost on a daily basis. I won't eat maybe if I'm at work, maybe around 1 o'clock, it depends. I usually eat maybe once, close to twice a day. And it's not like Mike said, our bodies wasn't made to digest all this food. And like if you got people that eat meat 3 times a day, like they said Elvis died with like 10 or 15 pounds worth of fecal matter in his body, because your body doesn't push it all out. Yeah, don't push it all out, and people die, and you still have all that waste inside of you. So I don't eat most of the time. If anything I eat mostly is chicken. I eat pork. Most of the time I eat pork. I don't even buy pork in my house. But if we have a pizza, it's just I can't. Pizza and Italian sausage is just I can't eat just a cheese pizza. That shit is crazy.
It's not.
You
eat chicken?
Huh?
You eat chicken on pizza?
Yeah, I eat chicken, but I don't like chicken on pizza.
Would you like cucumbers?
No, just.
Well, no, it's called pineapple.
Oh, I think that I don't know why people like that sweet and cheese. Yeah, you don't put fruit on pizza. You put next to why people don't put apples and oranges, bananas on pizza.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So no, there's a way in. No one's perfect, but you do the best that you can.
Right.
And that's the big scheme of life, period, whether you're walking around or not. You try to do the best you can. You see all these people with these commercials, these famous people come out. Well, if you do this and you do that, you can have this, whatever, this and that. And all them Instagram models. I know some girls who went and got their bodies done, then jumped their ass on Instagram talking about, I'm at the gym working out. No, you're not. You done went to Dr. Miami, got your ass blew up. Them titties don't belong to you. And now you got on a Lulu. You got on a Lululemon outfit. You at the gym. I see him at the gym all the time. You do like 3 or 4, not even workouts. You do a couple of reps. I'm in the mirror fixing my head. Almost. If you don't get your, so don't let it fool you. Don't. And you're not going to get, if you're overweight, here's some bad news. You might not even see a lot of results within 2 months.
Yeah.
It don't come like that. You put that shit on quick, but it come off much slower.
Especially if you're in a wheelchair. If you get away in a wheelchair, it's really hard to get it off. So that's why, again, these are just, people that have already been injured, not saying 10, you got a routine. It's not too late to change it. But for people that's just getting in wheelchairs, this is some of the tips you want to, again, like I said, take heed of, and just try to live a healthier lifestyle as soon as possible. Like I said, you're going to build up a routine. One of the biggest things, too, that helped me out was Ensure. Because, like Harvey said, we don't eat, like 3 times a day just because, again, it's hard on the stomach and we're not moving as much to work it off. But Ensure provides you with a lot of the nutrition and protein and stuff that you need. And that's what I did. I worked out 3 times a day and drank 3 Ensures a day and had my meals. But I was literally working out 3 times a day for at least like 45 minutes when I was in inpatient rehab. When I got out, I didn't have the ability to do that as much, but I did do therapies and work out at home. Like I said, that's where I got the bag ideas from, and doing push-ups and crawling. Like I did everything I could possibly do to stay active, because I knew sitting around would make me, less healthy. And because, again, I seen a picture of somebody having a bed sore, and I was like, this ain't happening to me, because it's just something that will take you all out of your routine. It'll have you on bed rest, and then from there, depression set in. You lose time, you lose money. It's terrible. And again, it smells bad. Like, you don't want to smell rotten flesh, in a room with you 24/7. Like, you don't want to go anywhere like that. It's just something you want to stay away from. Now, one of the things you can do professionally, all this stuff that we giving you is just our opinion. One of the things that you can do is go to a nutritionist. Those are professionals that can actually monitor you and give you actually ideas that they're familiar with, because that's their field. Like, we didn't go to school for none of this stuff. We just experience it, and we relay in what we have seen works and what don't work. And we not only speaking on our situation, we have a community of people that we talk to that's in wheelchairs, so we experience each other's lives through, talking and being around each other and exchanging our stories and the things that we go through. And also we see the downfalls. Something happened to one of us, we disappear and not around, and you call them and see what's going on. Man, this was happening, this was going on. Again, it's like the peer support and the community is what you want to get involved in. So that's another thing too. The reason why we're doing this is because we know the importance of having peer support to wrap it all up, somebody to talk to. It's almost like a big brother program, which I kind of keep on saying, because it's hard enough going through this by yourself. So why not have a little bit of help, which, lay an easier path. You can talk to nutritionists if you got insurance, which you probably should. You can talk to your healthcare team. They can kind of lead you in a more professional way to see something that works for you. Because again, I tell everybody that's in the wheelchair when they first get injured, all of these professionals around you, it's a difference between knowing what's like to be in the wheelchair and being in the wheelchair. So they'll tell you some things that they know from seeing it multiple times, but they haven't actually lived that life. They don't know exactly what's going on with you until they actually spend time with you and do investigating. If you know anything about the healthcare system, they do not have time to diagnose you as much as possible because they just have too many people to take care of. So it's not just you just a number, but you kind of just a number. So you got to do your due diligence and look up and do your research on your own with help from them, basically, and us steer you in the right direction. But you're the only one that's going to be able to decide what your life is going to be like from here on out, which it was like that with able-bodied as well. It was easier because you see more people walking around versus in wheelchairs. What else? We touched on exercise already. Oh, another good way to get exercise is adaptive sports. Harvey plays wheelchair rugby. I don't do none of that, but I'm actively involved in therapy still. Like, I stand up every day. I try to walk in my leg braces and my walker. I'm moving around. Like I said, still doing the push-ups and the stretches. One of the things too with adaptive sports is it's fun to it, and you build up rapport with other people that's in wheelchairs through competition. And I'm speaking on this like I do sports, but I don't. But I just know the camaraderie you build when you competing against another person that's got the same strengths or weaknesses that you do, and y'all travel and everything too, so you get cultured.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I started playing rugby. I want to say like maybe 14, 15. I didn't play this season. I took the season off. I had rotator cuff surgery last year, whatever. Now I don't even know if I'm going back to play rugby or not. Because again, like anything, things start to wear on you. And then when you got politics, there's politics and adaptive sports just as well as it is able-bodied sports, the NBA, NFL, and all that stuff. And yeah, it is. You do in the beginning, and sometimes it lasts depending on the situation. You get to meet new people, not only the people on your team, but people in different cities and different states. When you're at these tournaments or whatever, you see the things that they're doing and they have these conversations. So no, I mean, life doesn't end. It's just different. So no, and that keeps you healthy. Driving and this and that. I remember the first time I went to a rugby tournament, like by myself. I didn't have like a personal care worker, or I didn't take a friend with me. Me and my other teammate, we both have the same level of injuries. We drove together in my car, and when we got to gas stations or whatever, We just had somebody come out and pump the gas. But that was, I mean, because something had happened. Yeah, sure. And we weren't keeping up with the other players. We left on our own. But that was some years ago, and we were pretty. It was fun. It actually was a lot of fun. So no. But that staying active, period. Sitting at home doing nothing and moping and worrying about all the bad things is not going to get you anywhere.
So another one of the things too is that all of the stuff we've been talking about is going to again be up to you. So if you're not active in maintaining your health, don't expect anybody else to be, because whatever happened to you is going to affect you, whether whether you it's your fault. There's something. Well, it's always going to be your fault. If you have to depend on somebody to do something, uh, do that as little as possible, because again, if they don't get it done, it really won't affect them as much as it affects you. Not saying they're not going to be there for you. It's just way better to be responsible for your own well-being. So one of the things you could do too is it's called skin checks. I would make sure I check my skin twice a day. Like, you want to basically either use a mirror that they give you or get a mirror to maybe look at your back, look at your butt, check your legs. The things you don't feel don't mean they're not there. So if you got your foot in the back of a shoe, got your foot sitting on a wheelchair plate, got your foot just laying down sideways while you're in the bed, you got to check that stuff, because something can pop up faster than what you think. Because again, because you can't feel it, don't mean it's not there, but it is. So skin checks twice a day is good. Make sure you don't have any wet spots, especially like on your butt, in between your legs. I would even check in between my toes. I've heard of people getting bed sores between their toes because of the pressure. Keeping your socks on all the time, or keeping shoes on, or even not, like I said, moving your heels where your heel is digging into the bed. You get pressure on the back of your heel. That can be bad as well. That'll take you out the game. What else?
Also, regardless of your race or nationality, moisturize, because when your skin is
Because people can't
dry.
get ashy.
No, yeah, but when your
No
skin
matter your
is
nationality.
yeah, because they say Caucasian people don't use lotion because you can't. I've seen some ashy Caucasian.
Yeah, it's dry
So,
skin.
but dry skin, yeah, but especially when you have a disability, your skin being dry. So anytime you rub against something, your clothes, it's easier for the skin to break because it's not moisturized, and that also comes with being hydrated with fluid, so your skin then stuff doesn't dry out. A lot of that stuff just a lot of people, and they don't talk about it a lot, but I know they have been talking about it. They don't even talk. A lot of times they don't talk about moisturizing your skin. It goes a long way. I put lotion and Vaseline on every day after I get out the shower, and I
Good
try
idea.
to keep from skin breakdown.
And make your skin softer too. One of the things I do is keep gloves on, especially when I'm pushing my wheelchair, because it causes a lot of calluses on your hands. That's not going to kill you, but who want calluses on their hands? If you down with that, then go right ahead. But using gloves, just regular wheelchair gloves you can buy off Amazon. I'm pretty sure if you're using therapy, they'll give you some. They get old real fast. Like my shoes last way longer than my gloves, but obviously because I'm not walking around in them. But the wheels you constantly pushing, it tears the gloves up. So again, all in all, just trying to put people in the right direction. If you don't have any guidance or you kind of feeling lost, then you can always tune into this channel, or send us a message and we'll try to respond to you as soon as possible. But like I said, one of the biggest things is for you to be able to not feel overwhelmed. You got to take these things day by day. All the stuff we telling you, we learned this stuff over time. It didn't happen to us overnight. Nothing's going to happen overnight. And to be honest with you, this life is hard. You got the hand dealt to you. It is what it is. Now you either can play it or you can fold it. I suggest you go ahead and play it, because you never know what can come out. And also on top of that, just like with cards, you can get a good partner and they can help you out. So I would say take every day as for what it is, just one day. Whether it's for the good or for the bad. You having a great day, tomorrow might be shitty. Just telling you. But just understand that it's only a moment in time. Don't be overwhelmed by any of this stuff. Better days are ahead, especially again, as long as you're trying and you're putting forth your effort, anything is possible. For those that's out there thinking that, you'll never make it to where you want to be, I said that too. My whole thought in my head was I wasn't going to last 6 months like this. And here it is 11 years later, and I'm actually trying to help people in wheelchairs. Who would have thought? So, lastly, I just want to make sure everybody that ever is on this podcast to subscribe so we can get more people involved. or involved, because it's a the Will Project. It's still kind of around, but we need more people to get involved and be
Yeah.
and take part in actually spreading the message on how to basically navigate being in a wheelchair, because it's not easy. We only
Yeah.
talking about a couple aspects of it. Like it's multiple things, multiple facets that we can go through. Every day we can have a different topic to talk about. One of the things we're gonna do is speak about advocacy, where you want to help solve your problems, but once your problem is solved, don't forget other people have their problem to be solved as well. So if you help with advocating for change, then the people behind us or people that's in wheelchairs later on won't have to necessarily go through it. Because a lot of this stuff is systematic that we go through, and it's devastating. It just make everything harder. So the more you can do to help make a change will be for the best for everybody, even you. It'd be better for you too. So be aware of that. If you see somebody else in a wheelchair, speak to them, say something to them. Just let people know they seen, because you never know where they are in their journey of being in a wheelchair. I meet people all the time. I want to know if they first month or they last month. But it's always good to kind of touch base with people, because like I said, you never know where they at. And this life can be lonely. It don't have to be, but it can be. So again, with that, I don't have anything else to say for right now. We wrap it up on my end. You got anything else to add?
No, we're good.
All right. Well, till the next time, I'm not sure we're gonna post it soon or in a minute, but if we get some comments or some questions, we'll be right back on to try to answer them as soon as possible. But if not, probably one of the next topics we're gonna try to cover is the research and more digging into the new, because I got a procedure coming up where I'm gonna try to get a stimulator put in my back to help me walk again. But that's like a whole nother thing that is recently just came out. So I'm gonna try and see what's going on with it, and then I'll try to keep updates on what's going on with my progress and what benefits I got from it. So till next time,
Deuces.
we out.